meals, I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank, coming with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline till I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? And welcome to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by some more Rax, young Chris.
Hello.
No Nicholas Koloff because he never invites us to his weddings, but
he's getting married again.
He's gotten married once again.
He did get married once again.
Congratulations, Nick. I hope the flame
This guy's
dies
unbelievable
out.
with marriage.
This guy's constantly getting married, dude.
Or on another level.
Honestly, you ain't lying. I don't know since you lost that hair though. No, I'm playing. He still got it.
Well, that's what led to the divorce and then the second marriage.
That's very true. That's very true. You think you ever get married?
Me? I'd like to think so.
Yeah. You believe in it?
Yeah. In marriage?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know what you mean. I believe in loving somebody.
Yeah.
So, like,
why get the government involved?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with just eloping. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. My cousin did that.
What?
Eloping.
Is that just getting married without having a wedding?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, what about
just riding it out with no contract? I mean, no. I would like to get married.
By the law of the government, you know.
Yeah.
Chris?
Under God, and that's something that I would like to do.
Literally, justice for all.
Yeah. I'm not
invincible.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna be the guy that has like if I do some type of wedding, I probably will do traditional, but I'm also not against eloping either. I'm just not gonna be the guy that this has been my girlfriend for 15 years. Like, I don't know. That to me is always. I have a cousin like that. And then they were together for 17 years, his boyfriend, girlfriend. They were in their 50s. And then all of a sudden, he got married. And we were like, at this point, like, you know. But hey, congrats to them. I
guess, like, I don't for tax reasons. You know, like we got our whole tax situation going on for that one. I don't know, just like, in the eye of the government, I guess it's not a need. You know, like why do we need to get married per se? I guess in the eye of the Lord,
it's society.
You know, I get that. Yeah. Western society. Yeah. What happened to polygamy, bro?
Yeah, I mean,
times were good. Why are we ruining that? We're animals. We have desires. Pursue.
You and Chris should be wedding crashers, Spencer. Dude,
I'm down.
Crash
I've crashed a wedding.
I kill at weddings. I'm a 10 out of 10
go
wedding
so
guest.
hard I tore my MCL.
Yeah.
I have a pretty.
Every wedding I've been to, the grandma at the end of the night, it's like, I love you so much. That's how you know.
Same.
Yeah.
Shout out to my girlfriend Kendra.
In the stairwell.
That's why I done a nice. Like, you were great.
No, but seriously, like a couple of my friends' grandmas, like every time they come up to me, like, oh, we love you. I'm, like, I'm just, naturally a good time, Grandma. What can I say?
No, same. I got actually a video. I never showed it because it's embarrassing. It was a horrible freestyle. But the last one I went to, I was just like wasted freestyling against some random dude. I was going like way too hard.
Yeah.
I was like in his face.
Me and
I'm like wobbling shit because my knees all fucked up.
Me and my friend's cousin at his wedding freestyled for like an hour.
Yeah.
Like we were standing in the corner. It was like everybody was clearing out.
Yeah.
And we were just going back and forth for like an hour, dude. It was funny.
It was funny. Good times.
Mm-hmm.
Have we? Oh, we did 6 weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that right?
Because we had
I was fucking hammered.
Yeah. I didn't realize.
You stopped drinking. You were the responsible one.
Because we technically didn't have anywhere to stay.
We didn't have anywhere to stay. I was fine with sleeping in the car.
Yeah, I was kind of fine with that.
We could. There was like a motel.
Yeah, but after you got drunk, you kept making moves on me. Dude. So I couldn't sleep in the car with you.
We could have
my knee. Remember,
there was a motel right off the freeway that was a truck stop and
that's still so far
and
away,
an Arby's.
Yeah,
that was really far away. Yeah, that was like 20 miles away.
Yeah. I mean, dope spot. That rooftop spot was dope.
That was dope.
What city was that? Palomino. I'm just kidding. I made that up.
That's food.
I think it's a Palermo I'm thinking of.
I don't remember. Oh,
wasn't Travis?
Charlevoix.
Yes, Charlevoix. That's what it was. Yep. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend. Sorry for talking about weddings for the first 7 minutes. Spinny, I don't know if you want to do a whole segment on this one or if you want to get it out the way now, but the Tigers swept in the first series out. It was against the Dodgers, the super team Dodgers.
They're not winning the game. No, I mean, you played the Dodgers, and really the only game that I didn't like the way they looked was the last game.
We got fucked over.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So you're playing the Dodgers, you lost them. The offense looked better than I expected it to look, but you still need timely hits. That's the important part. Timely hits, like guys with runners in scoring position later in the game, stuff like that. Colt Keith needs to wake up. Like, season started, bud. Time to start swinging the bat.
Out of your ass.
Yeah, but I'm not freaking out. That team's insane, man.
That's
If they would have played anybody else, they would have won 2 of those games.
It's so weird because like baseball is like sometimes shit like that will happen.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is the Dodgers. But how often are we gonna? Our offense is gonna play that well. You know what I'm saying? Manny McGo almost had a legendary moment.
Yeah.
Like, he's robbed of it.
Should have. To overturn that call is crazy. I understand. Like, you stay with the call on the field. If they would have called them out or called them safe, you stay with the call. There was not enough to overturn it, and I thought that was nuts.
What did your eyes see on the replay?
Safe?
Safe.
My eyes saw safe.
No bias.
No,
I saw nothing inconclusive worth turning it over.
Yeah,
Like, if you said he touched him, sure.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
Then you said simultaneously touching the base. You can't turn that over. There's not enough evidence
to overturn
either
it.
way. Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know if they have separate camera angles than us, but they didn't show me. I didn't see a goddamn thing that was pointing the other way.
yeah.
That's just my opinion, and I'm not even like deep in it like that for the Tigers to like be delusional about it. I thought it was kind of bullshit.
Bring in the torpedo bats, says John Effing Lord.
Yeah, what's up with those?
So the Yankees hired a engineer
department?
or a
Yeah.
physicist or something from probably not physicist.
No.
From
Analytics
MIT.
department, yeah.
From MIT to make these bats and to design these bats.
They're
So
shaped like Mike.
they they are distributing
Oh, I know.
the sweet spot throughout the bat.
Trust me, brother.
So it's like Anthony Volpe would get, choked up a lot. They'd run in on his hands a lot.
Yeah.
And they jam him up in his hands. So they made the sweet spot closer to his hands so he doesn't have to pull his hands in as far to get barrel on the ball.
Yeah.
And with the fucking bitch-ass Mickey Mouse right porch that you got in Yankee Stadium,
Yeah.
if he could get that new sweet spot on the ball while he's being jammed, he can muscle it out to right field. And that's why they hit 15 homers in 3 games. Like, I think it's cheating, first of all. I don't think you
It's
should just
within
be
a
able
lot of the law.
to, like, can we take our bat for Javi and make it longer? Like, thin it out a little bit and make it longer so he can so he gets some of those pitches he's swinging at?
I think what I read, as long as the diameter comes to like a certain, I think it's like 12. So I gotta look it up. Yeah, from what I read.
I don't like it. It seems shady to me. It doesn't help that it's the Yankees who are just
No.
like they're the evil empire for a reason. Like, fuck the Yankees. I've always hated the Yankees. I don't like this. I think, torpedoes are meant for sinking ships, not hitting balls. And I don't fucking like this at all. Fuck the Yankees. It doesn't help that they tied the MLB record for most home runs through 3 games or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
They hit 9 in 1 game. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
And the
Volpe
MLB
Chisholm.
approved it, says Dante 151. Yeah,
Yes.
kind of whack. Now, we're doing whatever we want.
well,
We're just doing whatever we want with the bat now. You can just go up there with whatever you want. You can move it around. Maybe I like it in the handle. You put it in the like, what are we doing?
Some guys holding the fucking
Yeah, like he likes to swing a reverse bat. Maybe he goes up there the other way.
airbuds trotting up in fourth spot.
It's stupid. I think it's awarding them for.
It's not awarding. It's within the rule.
It's cheating.
It's
not
helping
cheating,
the
it's in
week.
the rule of law.
It's cheating.
It's helping the week.
All right, so it says, however, the Major League Baseball confirmed the bats are legal under Rule 3.02, which states bats must be single piece of solid wood, no more than 2.61 inches in diameter at the thickest part, and no longer than 42 inches.
Cheaters.
Yeah.
The rule doesn't specifically specify where the thickest part must be. An MLB spokesperson told The Athletic the bats comply.
Yeah, doesn't feel good. Don't like it. It smells.
I don't think it smells.
It
I
smells.
think it's smart.
I think it smells.
It's smart. What do you mean it smells? It's within the letter of the law.
Fuck no. You can see something and know it's don't give me the letter of the law.
It's within the letter of the law.
Don't give me the letter of the law. You
The
look
fact
at
they're
that
the first
shit.
ones
You
to think of this?
put the picture up, Chris.
Baseball's been
Look at
around
this
for
fucking
this
shit.
long, and no one started this shit. That's smart.
Yeah, because now you got to go up there and try to get jammed. There's fucking look at that.
Why you got a crotch shot? There's so many other pictures of the bat without his fucking balls and dick in it.
I assumed that the one where the bat's in would have been in the picture more, and the crotch would have been out of the picture.
What do you, Chris?
Executive decision here, boys.
Yeah,
You know what's crazy?
All right, let me readjust it. Give me a second to
No, it's
readjust.
fine.
No, we're good. I don't know why you picked that. You
No, I sent those pictures.
Yeah.
okay? Funny story over the weekend. I did think of you, Chris. I almost sent this to you, but sometimes I got
just
dad
out
humor.
of the picture.
What?
The bat was just out of the picture.
I know, but the dick was all zoomed in.
What's crazy is I zoomed out of both of them. They were like even more cropped if you go in our Slack. But
Who's Chris's celebrity lookalike? Who do you get resembled to most likely?
didn't they say Daniel Tosh for me way back when? Wasn't that one of them?
Andrew WK.
a president?
Oh, Abraham
Abe
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
There's a documentary
vampire.
out there. I saw this comedy skit. Well, it's a real documentary, like greatest president of all time. Free the slaves.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah,
He hunts vampires.
Yeah.
hunts vampires.
Absolutely.
Also, a conspiracy. He was gay.
Holy shit.
That's all.
Oh, Honest Abe wasn't too honest. Huh?
The plot thickens.
Closet Abe. There's a
Closet
conspiracy.
Abe.
I mean, he did like to go to the fucking plays a lot. Like,
He slept
He
in-
was a big theater
in
guy.
this
big
trailer.
theater guy.
It said he slept in bed with men more often than women.
Yeah, I mean, that
This
makes
was a
it
common
gay, right?
thing at that time. They said, but like,
Common thing at the time.
yeah, I don't ever remember that being a thing.
Sleeping without. Well, I mean, we weren't there, so
true.
we would have. We could ask Maz, but
Oh, that's fucking tons of dudes.
yeah, what do you mean?
Everybody was doing it.
I slept with this guy, then he slept with that guy.
Don't you know the Romans did it?
He's coming. Everybody's coming. Damn, that's crazy. Honest Abe was playing some pool, huh?
Tyler the Creator.
Guess
huh?
so, man.
Burn in the Woodward Sports Chat says, now hear this out, Spenny. Javi makes contact, but he always hits into double plays. Just torpedo it into the sweet spot. Bada boom, El Mago is back. I mean,
Boom.
might as well try it.
Oh.
So
What?
what was the?
I didn't watch it. It's just a trailer.
It's a movie coming out.
It's like a documentary. Maybe a docuseries.
Is that
What?
the meat or is that the
Me too.
the
Abe Lincoln.
is that the constant movement coming after an American hero?
If it could be.
Could be.
It could be.
But I mean, if he's sleeping with dudes, I mean that's
Right? And they're like,
that's pretty gay. Like
I'm sure somebody in
I
the
mean,
chat
yeah,
saw it.
by the letter of the law, I think.
Honest Gabe, says the dull spoon.
Honest Gabe.
Honest Gabe. I mean, it doesn't take away he's a great president.
No, for sure.
So, we got to start making some changes around here. Maybe we do it. I don't
Guy was
know.
ahead of his
Can
time.
Elton John be
Pioneer, I
president?
guess.
Maybe
Neil
Chris
Patrick
is the one.
Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I'd vote for Neil Patrick Harris.
He's not a president, but he plays one on TV.
Yeah. Did he ever play a
Wait, did he?
president?
No, I don't think so.
He might
Very
have.
possible. Yeah,
Could.
he's been around long
Could have
enough.
pulled it off.
He doesn't look like a president at all at any point. in
No,
his life.
not very presidential.
Not at all.
Not commanding at all.
He's a doctor though.
Doogie
Doogie Howser.
Howser. All right, let's go to break. Let's
Gay
come
washing
back.
history, says Matt Kasem. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Are they trying to gay wash our history? Are they trying to tell? Yeah, Abraham Lincoln sure liked the dudes. Like it's
thought-
cool if he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
You know, nobody cares.
You thought film was in black and white. It was all rainbow.
Yeah.
back then.
They tried to get off on Kennedy, but there was just too much proof on JFK of
That's
the,
true.
of the other
That's
side.
true.
It is a trailer, so we would be allowed to play it on air. I'll try to find it.
If you can't send it to me, we'll react to it. We'll 3 camera
But let me tell you something.
and just see what these lies are besmirching.
Trying to purchase a new home.
President was playing with logs, no Lincolns.
Bar.
That is
There's
a
a bar.
bar, dude. What?
That is a bar. All right, guys. I don't know how to transition from this one, so I'll start like this. Mark White can change your life and save you up to $5,000 in the closing costs of your new home. Just contact him via phone number or website, 248-290-8242. Visit him at markwhitesells.com. That's 248-290-8242. Or visit him at markwhitesells.com. It's Mark White.
Mark White.
Woodward Sports Sports is at it again.
I don't know if I
giving
spell-
away
I don't know if I
more
spell,
cash and prizes than anyone in Detroit. Get into our March Bracket Challenge, powered by Jug and Nathan Neurosurgery.
Abraham
If you
Lincoln is
have
a
the
good
biggest
man.
basketball brain and get first place, you win $1,000 cold hard cash. But it doesn't stop there. Second place gets a weekend at Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, including brunch at Erie and golf. Third place, 2 club seats to see the Pistons versus Bucks with food and drinks courtesy of RHB Laboratories in Troy. You can pre-register now at woodwardsportsbracket.com. That's woodwardsportsbracket.com. Then, after Selection Sunday, fill out your bracket for your chance at $1,000 in cash, money, and more. Pick by mascot, choose by team colors, have your dog pick. No matter how you do it, go to woodwardsportsbracket.com right now and register. All powered by the best in the game, Chug and Nathan Neurosurgery and Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone, where we mean everybody can get full-body workouts in 30 minutes. All memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month. Upgrade to the Black Card, get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
They just dropped another biopic about me, so I'm just going to watch the trailer.
He is considered a sacred figure by both Republicans and Democrats.
He led the nation through its greatest crisis.
I did.
He's on our currency.
Yep.
We build monuments to him.
Guilty.
He's the greatest president the United States has ever had.
Today, the big question that people are asking is, was Abraham Lincoln gay?
In the 19th century, for many men, their closest relationships were other men, and same for women.
Men live with another man when they're single, and often did, and shared beds.
Lincoln probably slept in the same bed with men more than he did with women.
No, he didn't.
Put together
I honest to God, never did that.
Really startling.
It's actually
If you
not
want a
that
smoking
startling.
gun, here it is.
But
I'm
then
game
you
for
see all
freeing
these
slaves.
shifts to the end of the 19th century.
Who the f*** is this guy?
If you can accept a queer Lincoln, you can accept queer people overall.
Lover of men? Nope, there's some technical glitch.
That's got to be satire, right?
Yeah.
That seems like satire.
No, dude, I think the trailer is real. I remember hearing something about him sleeping in bed with men before.
I've seen that video before. So
the video I just played?
I feel like I have. Like, that seemed familiar, but so maybe that's where it is. Like,
It made me
before,
think of the
but,
episode
yeah.
of The Office when they go to Gettysburg and find out that the Battle of Shroot Farms was all about gay dudes running away from war and living at Shroot Farms.
I did not know that.
Well, it's from
What
The
episode?
Office.
No, The Office?
Yeah, it was just
Damn.
Shroot Farms isn't a real place.
Oh.
It's it's Dwight Schrute's farm.
Oh.
And he was like he was yelling at Oscar the whole time because he said that Shroot Farms was the most northern battle of the Civil War, and Oscar said it didn't exist. And then they go to Gettysburg, and the historian's like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of it." And then they talk about how it was a bunch of gay dudes that go there and run away from war. It was funny.
That is funny.
It does remind me of Drunk History a little bit. Listen, I love Drunk History. Have you ever seen Drunk History?
I think I did watch a clip on YouTube.
I've seen clips.
I'm an advocate for that show coming back because that show is really funny.
Is Comedy Central still around?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I guess I do have cable. I really only watch sports and sports.
If it is true though,
and Severance and White Lotus, the season 2 is actually lit.
I heard White Lotus is good.
Yeah, season 2 is actually really good.
if it is true though, then we have to amend history and say that John Wilkes Booth is the last person to give it to Abraham Lincoln from the back.
Oh,
that's crazy. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I thought you were going to say Abraham Lincoln got slayed.
I mean, that was a good
No,
one
he was
too.
slaying his whole presidency.
He did have a sense of fashion.
He did. He did make fashion statements.
Yeah, the beard, the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying.
Put his mail in his hat. Maybe it wasn't his mail. Maybe it was letters from his gay lovers.
Oh. Could be.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think his type was?
All right, guys.
Not going that
This
far,
is
actually.
this is conclusive evidence. This is
Sorry, Chris.
decided.
I was gonna ask another question. I completely forgot. Yeah, sorry, Chris. That does suck. The guy you look like. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. And take this with a grain of salt, but like people talk about how like the news is kind of biased these days. How they like trying to paint like certain pictures. And it's like, well, yeah. What do you think makes you rethink history? Like the way they tell it. You know, like is there bias there when they're retelling these stories and shit?
Oh, for sure.
Because I know I have a friend from London.
You think Helen Keller's real?
I have a friend from England, and like he told me they don't even teach the Revolutionary War over there.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely.
Yeah, like they don't even
for
talk
sure.
about it.
They
Like,
better not fucking bring that shit up.
Well, you can't. You're like, oh yeah, we got our asses kicked.
We don't teach about. We don't. You don't have Vietnam in your.
No, we did in high school.
Really? I didn't learn about Vietnam.
Dude, I'll never forget
it was like
about
a
Vietnam
chapter.
and like being taken back
so
about how
short.
they treated when I got home. That shit's crazy to me.
We didn't learn about Vietnam when I was in high school.
They glossed over
Part
that.
of curriculum. I was way ahead of you.
They glossed
I did
over
go
that
to a
with
good
us.
school at that point in my life. What, Chris?
I would just say they glossed over that with us. It was like, yeah, there was this war. We kind of lost it. Wasn't really that big of a deal. Kind of controversial. Maybe we didn't lose it. Anyways, the 60s.
That's exactly how they taught it.
I mean, to say we lost.
What's that Family Guy? Scoreboard.
Scoreboard. Yeah.
God.
Dude. Scoreboard. Oh, I know that dude. He cried like a bitch.
Welcome to off-season sports talk. At least we're not talking like. Listen, I'm not going to disrespect the OGs at the flagship, but some of the bullshit topics they come up with are the most most plain Jane, boring. Like, what's your favorite ice cream? Colin. Like, all right. I think we're doing it better than that.
I mean, it's obviously chocolate. Well, we're talking about gay Abraham Lincoln. We're
It's
obviously way more interesting.
10 times more
than ice cream flavors. I mean, obviously, chocolate chip cookie dough is the best ice cream flavor.
Yeah, I agree.
Cookies and cream is really good too.
Cookies and cream up there. Moose Track is up there.
Yeah,
it's grown as I got older. No, what's your favorite ice cream?
Matcha.
Ooh. Matcha ice cream, is that a thing?
I like.
Never had.
Like the Italian ice, or like the, what's it called, gelato, or no?
We're doing it. Let's not go down this path.
What? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're not. We're not midday.
So Abraham Lincoln's gay. All right.
All right.
Really messed up my day.
Hey, Vietnam #1, undefeated. That dude.
It's fucked up, but it's true.
It's true, and it's funny. An old Family Guy is fucking goated.
Oh, for sure. They didn't care about anything.
No.
And it still aired, not canceled. Crazy.
Yeah, they made it. You can do anything you want when you're animated.
It's very true. Except for you can't be animated by someone in a different race than you. That's not allowed anymore.
What?
In Hollywood, a lot of the actors are turning down roles because, like, oh, I'm not an Asian guy. Oh, I'm not this. I'm not that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, if they want me to play a black guy, I would do it for sure. What do you mean?
Huh? Yeah, exactly.
You want me to play LeBron? I'll voice LeBron in the new.
Give me your best LeBron voice.
Hit the Rolly Stone with the Rolio. Boo 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 boo. Dude, that's all I think of.
I read this book one time.
Huh?
If you want to give a LeBron impersation, I
LeBron's
read this book
LeBron's
one
got a
time.
really
It's my
deep
favorite
voice.
book. All the
So,
long.
yeah, so
LeBron.
We went out there and
That's Shaq.
yeah, no, Shaq's even deeper. Shaq's we went out there, we took care of business. Like, Ernie, you set me up, man.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to play our best.
Are you trying to be LeBron?
Yeah. Not good?
No, it's Ohio. That was
3.
like Southern.
Shit stank, don't it?
Hit the Rolling Stone with the Rolio.
How
What was
that
our
sound?
getaway
Was
called Jack
You
Portfolio?
tried? I don't
Boo
know.
boo boo boo.
All right. I give up. Chris, you want to give it a go before we?
Artist dying.
LeBron, I can't do. I don't know that.
Chris,
I can try that.
We told Chris to do LeBron. He's like, yo, yo, yo.
Yeah. No, my best LeBron impersonation is
shizzle.
My best LeBron impersonation is what's that book? Oh, that's my favorite book. I read that.
Yeah.
I read that.
That's
Y'all
a great
know about the Migos?
That was a good one.
That's my best LeBron impersonation I got.
What if we released the album another week later, and here go 2 more for y'all.
Here go another one.
Yeah, LeBron thought of deluxe album. He's the first guy to think of putting on a deluxe album.
Dude, he's you gotta think about it, man. He's never, and this is like all due respect too, by the way. Like you can learn a lot of things like business wise, but his education wise is like high school, and then he went on to become a fucking phenom.
Yeah.
So of course, like some shit he might like.
It's like KG.
Come across like. Yeah, I
love
trying to say equivalent.
Kevin Garnett was trying to say equivalent.
Yeah, equivalent.
NBA equivalent.
Equilibrium.
I love Kevin Garnett, but yeah, that was.
If you go vegan, ADHD has taken over this episode. All right, we will talk Michigan State and Michigan exiting the tournament.
Yep.
We are at a break though. Did we read the first super chat that came?
What's up?
We had one from Byrne. Did we read that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have another one. Let's
from
get it
Dante 151. He says, "So what the hell is wrong with the Twins? They just lost 9-0 today to the White Sox. The Twins are 0-4 now. Are the White Sox good now? No, it's just early.
Yeah. We did say the White Sox won't have another season like last year.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said, if you bet the under on the White Sox season, you're sweating.
Salty, yeah.
Shout out to Dante 151.
Shout out to Dante.
Let's go to break. We'll talk about their tourney exit and more.
Hit the roller stove with the rodeo.
Beef stew. Fucking madman. Actually, I can eat some pictures and videos for that too. But Feist, tell us about that merch.
Feist, let me tell you about that merch. Woodward Sports has the best merch in town. Look all over. You'll never find a better merch than Woodward Sports. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all that for all use, all seasons. Make sure you're tapping in with the best Detroit sports merch, Woodward Sports.
Labor Torres 10-day IL.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
The Detroit Tigers are locked and loaded for another great summer in Detroit. And it all starts downtown at the biggest home opener party in the city. Join Woodward Sports at Grand Slam Festival as we take over the Detroit Opera House parking lot. A big-ass tent for a big-ass Detroit party. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFestival.com or follow Woodward Sports on X and IG for your chance to get in for free. Party across from Comerica Park and hear the roar as the Tigers take the field for the first time in 2025. DJs, food trucks, bartenders, live broadcasts, and more. See you for the Tigers' first home game of the season, April 4th at the Grand Slam Festival with Detroit's biggest party animals, Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer, the Chevrolet dealer for 6 consecutive years. Get you a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew for just $199 a month. You can also get the 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live, MoveWordSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Small Rax, Chris. No Nicholas Koloff, but we ball. The show must go on. Well, I'm sorry, Spinny. The show transition here is the show didn't go on for the Michigan State.
I'm not
party.
transitioning. I told you that already. I'm comfortable with who I am. Shout out Abraham Lincoln.
Shout out Abraham.
Shout out Abraham.
Pioneer.
The original LA.
You want to start with the Michigan game or the Michigan State game?
We can start with Michigan State.
Auburn beat both.
Because I don't give a shit about Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, the 3-point. It's crazy how consistent the tournament's been with, like, your downfall or your weakness is what takes you up.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to Michigan State yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what happened to Michigan State yesterday. They shot 3 of 17 from 3. They smoked a bunch of layups too, and that's what it was. Like Auburn was a better team than you. I don't think anybody is questioning that.
Broom's a dog.
To beat a better team, you have to go out there and perform higher than you are. You perform at a higher level than you are. And they couldn't do that. They had the opportunity because even though it was a 16-point game at one point, our defense really took over in that second half, especially the beginning of the second half. They were shutting down Auburn, and they had the opportunity to get back into that game and to even take the lead in that game, and they just couldn't do it because they couldn't hit shots. So, you want to say this season was a success for Michigan State. The Big Ten, winning the Big Ten is good. Making the Elite Eight is good. Yeah, it is. But Elite Eights aren't good enough. You need to be better than that. You got to win another championship at some point here, and you had a good opportunity to do it this year. Unfortunately, the shooting was the downfall, and you can't go out there and brick shots like that and expect to beat the number one team in the tournament. So it sucks.
Was there a point that went 0-6? They kept getting the boards, it's missing every.
Yeah,
that was nuts.
They had a couple possessions where they missed 4 shots. Like I said, it's a game that they should have won. If you were an average shooting team, you win that game, but they haven't been an average shooting team, and that's been a thing all year. They're 300th in the country in three-point shooting, so it sucks.
What hurts the most about it? Anybody leaving? You expect to leave?
Jaden Aiken's leaving. I mean, he's a senior.
Yeah.
That's the one that hurts the most, I think. He had a hell of a year, a hell of a career. Love Jaden Akins, true Spartan dog. Izzo guy. He got a picture of him when he's a kid in elementary school or kindergarten or whatever it was. It says, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And it says, "I want to be a Michigan State basketball player." And he was. He's a Spartan dog forever. Love Jaden Akins. It sucks, but he couldn't make any shots to start the game. He started hitting some late, but it was too late at that point. Holloman went 0 for 10. Sucks.
Chris, your fellow Spartan.
Yeah.
I don't know any words you want to put on this one.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got it. It's the shooting. The shooting was the issue all game. And remember, that's what I felt so good about coming into the previous matchup was the shooting for Michigan State. But in that game, it did not carry over. And ultimately, too, another thing is down the stretch, they deserved that win the way Auburn was playing. That was a great press that Michigan State had in the final. What was it, minute and a half?
Yeah.
And they were just able to get it across half court.
They had a 32%.
They had a 32% free throw shooter hitting a free throw. They were doing the things they needed to do to put it away. This was not a game where they were going to give it away to Michigan State. So you do got to give them credit. While Michigan State, you can look in the mirror and take accountability for the poor shooting being your downfall. Absolutely. At the same time, that team was making plays down the stretch to win games. They weren't doing just enough. But Michigan State, man, that was a hell of a last punch at the end, and that's just an Izzo team, man. So I'm proud of it. It's an Izzo team.
You look at, like I said, it wasn't just the three-point shooting. It was the around the rim and the layups that they were also extremely poor at. But that's on Auburn, man. You got some big dudes in the paint for Auburn there. It's different when you're going up against them compared to other competition. We've got smaller guards. You got to be able to finish those shots, and they weren't. They couldn't, and that's what happens. Like I said, they're the number one seed for a reason. You went up against them. To beat them, you have to play the best you can, and they didn't do that. So
there were a couple free runs they gave up too, to bad switches on defense.
Yep,
which was very uncharacteristic of a Tom Izzo team. And then I think the part that did it for me, and although I continue to watch, continue to have hope, but the 17-0 run in the first half, I feel like I was watching somebody get stabbed.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
You go on a 17-0 run, and then you have a couple times where you take it within 6, and you get it to within 6, and then you look around, and it's a 10-point lead again. So, yeah, that stretch where they had a stretch. I saw Tony Paul posted it. They had one stretch in both halves where they shot 2 of 16. Made 2 of 16 attempts. So, you're not going to win games when you shoot that poorly.
Yeah. Just sucks because I just hate the Izzo discourse on social media.
It happens every year.
It seems to be a lot of disrespect for what he's been, and he's still goddamn good coach in the day, and I don't think he's dealt with the type of talent that you see the Dukes and the Kentuckys have over the years. He's kind of been committed to like those 4-year guys. He's just now kind of switching to like the one and dones. You know, it's I don't know. I don't like the disrespect of Izzo, but
we do have some breaking news.
John Kaminsky.
Well, yeah, John Kaminsky, that happened earlier as well, but Cody Stavenhagen has tweeted that the Tigers placing Gleyber Torres on the 10-day injured list with a left oblique strain, and Justin Henry Malloy will be joining the team in Seattle.
Jahan, shout out. I think we kind of saw that coming. Shout out to him for hitting the home run, though. Hopefully, when he comes back, he's able to provide that all year. Shout out Torkelson.
Shout out Tork.
I know we kind of blew past the targets.
He's playing well.
Yeah, that was Ohtani. Why even pitch that guy?
No. I mean, Maeda shouldn't be on this team.
Well, let's not talk about Maeda. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
Fucking hate that guy. All right, what about Michigan's exit?
I mean, same kind of deal. Michigan obviously had a great season. They won the Big Ten tournament. They got to the Sweet 16, but they ran into an Auburn team that is taking care of business. I mean, Michigan turned the ball over, felt like 20 times in that game. And they don't have the talent to go up with Auburn and turn the ball over like that. It's the same thing like Michigan State lost because they couldn't shoot the three, and Michigan lost because they turned the ball over too much. That's what happens.
It's crazy how consistent it is in the tournament. It's crazy how consistent those flaws are, too, just knowing what they are. I feel like, both things kind of hard to fix. Kind of hard you are at that point, especially that deep in the tourney.
Yeah, and like the Michigan State shooting stuff is just crazy.
It's all year.
Yeah, I know, but it's like good shooters that turned into bad shooters.
Yeah.
For some reason. Like Jaden Akins has been a good shooter his whole career. Couldn't shoot for shit this year. Frankie Fiddler was a great shooter his whole career. Can't shoot for shit this year. It's weird.
Yeah.
Is there a shooting coach to look into, Eazy?
Yeah.
Is there a shooting coach?
John Beeline disciple. Snuck into the Sparty camp.
Yeah, there is some word out there. John Kaminsky posted on his Instagram and his social medias that he will be medically retiring from the NFL. You hate to hear that.
That sucks, man. He's a really good dude.
He's a good dude. He's a great player when he got in there, but just the wear and tear of NFL seasons and the consistent injuries. And you know it's got to be real bad if Brad Holmes isn't even going to sign you for a year. But
he's like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah. I hope Kamish is all right. I mean, I wish him the best of luck going forward in his life and whatever is next for him. Kaminsky always seemed like a good guy to me.
He had a camp, I believe he did twice now, where he changed admissions from like paid to free because he just wanted to give the kids like an opportunity to go. I think that's really cool of him to do 2 times in a row. And he did it once more for one of his teammates' camps as well, too.
Yeah, I feel like
he paid for kids to go.
Him and Derek Barnes, I feel like, are just like the nicest dudes.
Honestly, I think it might have been his Derek Barnes.
Derek Barnes seems like just such a nice guy.
Yeah, John Kaminsky, great dude. And, we got him. I'm talking about like he's dead, but he's not, obviously.
No.
He's well. He's
medically
rich,
retiring
married,
from the NFL
2 kids. Yeah.
After 6 years.
It just sucks because like he was a great guy, and I think sparingly he did pretty well in Detroit. Like we were able to use him. Bounce him inside. I think he did work for us, but unfortunately he'll be retiring. You won't see him in the NFL anymore, and the Detroit Lions lose another depth piece along that interior, I guess you'd call it for him, the way it was leaning towards.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is what it is, man. What do you want to do? You want to come back and talk about Stu, or do you want to come back and just dive into Lions?
I kind of want to just dive into Lions. We just said Kaminsky either. We can talk about Stu later.
All right, let's do that.
But we got a lot of Lions to talk.
Lots of Lions. Brad Holmes spoke at the owners' meetings. Dan Campbell spoke at the owner meeting. We got some clips from Dan Campbell and comments from Brad Holmes we'll get to.
Kryptonic TV says, failure of a season for MSU based on Neil and Spenny's usual rules, right? Yeah. Yes, I think that was a failure of a season for MSU. You won the Big Ten, that's great. You made it to the Elite Eight, that's great. It's not good enough.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're trying to do there, but
he's trying to get you riled up there.
Yeah.
How about the chalk Final Four?
Yeah, all one seeds, only second time in tournament history.
I was gonna ask, has it ever happened in our lifetime?
It was like 2008 or something.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was also the last time it was in San Antonio too, the Final Four in 2008. And those are the only 2 times.
Big women in San Antonio eating all those churros. They want to see the number 1 seeds.
I think Auburn might win it. I know Duke's the big bad bully on the block right now, but they feel like a team of destiny.
I don't know. Cooper Flag's different, dude.
Yeah, he
I
is.
haven't peeped into their games, to be honest with you.
And
I've
if Florida might beat Auburn, I wouldn't be surprised if Florida beats Auburn.
Nah, dude, I think Auburn's gonna.
The way Florida shoots the three.
If
If Auburn allows as many open threes against Florida as they did against MSU, they're not winning that game.
That's fair. Johnny Broom. How old is he? 24?
22, I think.
22?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's going lottery pick.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's balding though. He looks older.
Happens.
Like thin. Yeah, I mean I know.
Yeah.
Lord knows.
Lord knows.
That's why Lady Jane's. If you're not bald,
Lady Jane's is the spot for you. You can walk in, sit down, relax, get an amazing haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. You can get a hot leather, neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Stop in, sit down. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Woodward Sports is live in downtown Detroit for Tigers opening day.
This one's blasted. Out toward the bullpen.
Live from the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House.
Way back, forget it. Out of here.
Brought to you by Mad Packs, Jars, and White Claw. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Dr. Pierce, attention sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAG trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit us at MichiganSportsandSpine.com or give a call at 248-426-9944.
What up and welcome to World Heavyweights Live on WorldSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Spitmore Rags, Young Chris. No Nicholas Koloff. He'll be back tomorrow. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. There's a couple things coming up. Brad Holmes presser today. He had a sit down with, in my opinion, his biggest hater, by the way, from PFT. But he also does the owner meeting too, where he just interviewed with everybody. And one of the things he said, and I wanted to get this on video. I was waiting for the video to drop. Unfortunately, it came after we were live because I wanted to hear his voice. Like the inflection of when he said it.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, I wanted to get that part of it because I asked him about a particular piece of the Detroit Lions team we all thought was going to be paired up with Aiden Hutchinson. That was Za'Darius Smith. And they asked why they let him go. He said, unfortunately, with the plans we got moving forward in terms of contracts, which there's a lot of people coming up, Aiden Hutchinson, Kirby Joseph, after that, Brian Branch, Jamison Williams. We'll talk about that too. It just didn't fit in the long-term plans. But he is open to him coming back, and he has been in contact with his agent.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, if Za'Darius Smith would have been on this team next year, on his contract that he was on, it would have cost about $16 million to have him here.
Mm-hmm.
And with everything that you're trying to do, Brad figured you can't afford that. And you needed to sign, 20-plus guys. You needed to bring in a ton of different players. And then I look at what I expect out of Za'Darius Smith now going forward is he's going to be chasing rings. That's where he's at in his career.
Yeah.
So either he could get a bag somewhere for sure. Like if he wanted to go out and get $10, $15 million a year, he could get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
But if he wants to win a Super Bowl, he's going to come to a team like the Lions or a contender, and it's going to be on a cheaper deal.
Yeah.
That's just the area he's going to have to live now.
That's why I wanted to hear like the answer and how it was answered. If it was like a coerced out of him to say we're still in contact with his agent, or like, are you still in contact with his agent? He just confirmed it. Like, I want the actual quote in itself because bring him back. Like, I'd love to have him back, especially talking about John Kaminsky. That's a piece that maybe we thought we were getting back at some point, but no, he's just medically retired today. Za'Darius Smith in a NASCAR package alongside of Lee McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, and a healthy Marcus Davenport, that's dangerous. I think Za'Darius Smith in itself, the way he was able to get the 5 sacks last year with the all due respect, I won't say the word I was going to say. How about this? Not the best version of our defensive line. Everyone in this room, most Lions fans, we're excited to see him alongside Aiden Hutchinson in a pass rushing sense. And I think you need something behind Davenport. You just do, in my opinion. I get when he's healthy. I'm actually one of the advocates of re-signing him. I said that before it even happened. I wanted him back here on a reasonable deal. We got that. But you just can't really rely on him being healthy for the entirety of the season. You need somebody else. You just do.
You got Pascal.
Mm-hmm. Not the pass rusher I want.
Not the pass rusher you want. The pass rusher that you brought back was AQM.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a borderline practice squad guy.
Yeah, we don't know if he makes the team.
Yeah. You got to think they're going to draft somebody.
Damn well better.
In the first 2 rounds.
Damn well better.
And so we'll see. Would I like them to re-sign Za'Darius? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you said, you bring him back here on a contract that's he's trying to chase a ring. He's trying to win a ring. The contract he's going to get $5-6 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
You put him in pass rushing situations. You use him for his strength. You use him for his mind to help a younger guy in the rookie, whoever he brings in, learn how to play in the NFL. Yeah, I would like it a lot. He's still dating Cash Doll, so.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, Cash Doll's done a lot for this city. I need one more thing from you, Cash Doll.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I need one more thing. I need you to, whisper some sweet nothings into Za'Darius's ear and get him to stay. Bring him home.
And it's not like he doesn't want to be here. Like,
yeah, I think he does.
He bought the ring, remember?
Yeah.
The fake ring?
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy. Maybe that's why I felt like he may be pissed off in this situation. He's like,
yeah,
he was committed.
He was.
He liked being a Detroit Lion.
And he also would have liked 17.
He came here and the city embraced it. He embraced the city right away.
He did.
Yeah. Hit a Pistons game with the Buffs. Hit the Blade Dance. Like he
Called
was all
himself
about it.
for
He's dating Cash Doll.
Yeah.
He loved being a Detroiter.
And that's all good. And for sure, definitely means something. But he also probably putting on a little bit of a ruse because he wanted that $17 million.
I don't know. I think he's genuine. He's genuine, dude.
I think he thought he was going to have his cake and eat it too. Have both the money and the championship.
Yeah, I'm sure it's cool to be here and like it.
I think there's a ruse for the $17 million. I think he's just playing. He's played in Cleveland for the past 3 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
He got a taste of winning again with the Detroit Lions, and then he's thinking too
in a better place.
Oh, shit, Hutch is coming back. I'm about to be seeing some single coverage. You know what I'm saying? Something along those lines. I mean, obviously, I'm sure he had the money, but
what up, E-Fog?
He may get that either way if he goes to a shitty team. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm not really tripping over it. What up, E-Fog? I would feel better if he was back in the Detroit Lions, I guess. I'd say it's even more. I'm not gonna say that. The guard and defensive end are hand in hand for me right now. But we brought back Ayotte, so I guess I'll
yeah, that is another thing they did. They brought back Yodi. I think that's a good depth piece. And like I said, I'm comfortable with him because he's been in this situation before. We've used him in this situation before, and when he's been in there, he's performed at a high level. So,
and NPW, all that's irrelevant. Correct, but it's relevant in this scenario where does he want to come back? Does he feel burned by that? That's why those stuff was brought up. It's not because he's a Detroit Lion. Oh yeah, he loves the city. No, I'm not. I think you should know by now. I'm not that type of guy.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in terms of him just wanting to come back on a cheaper deal, that probably hurt him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. There's a human element to this. Like if somebody looks you in the eyes and takes away $11 million from you, no matter how
not good enough.
Yeah, no matter how nice they do it, no matter how respectful they are, no matter how much you love a city, I can see a world in which he feels away, but I can also see a world in which he evaluates his options, looks at contenders, maybe Kansas City or some other teams. He looks at those situations and he goes, you know what? At the end of the day, Detroit is still the best situation because I'm going to get the same money here as I would there, and this is an organization that I respect and I'm clearly fond of. So
and I'm banging Cash Doll.
I would not close the door on it, but you're right, Eazy, especially right now in this very moment. There could be some human element to it where he's he's not happy about, losing $10 million or whatever it ends up costing him.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're being told he wasn't worth that.
Yeah.
$17 million too.
They get there. These guys are the top of the top athletes. They get there off of pride and belief in themselves. So
they're surrounded by yes men.
Yeah.
And shout out Gun Guy, take your pants off. And all the hate for Za'Darius in the chat is kind of wild.
I don't get that.
It's kind of wild.
That's crazy because while he was here, it was lots of love.
Yep. Yeah. You guys would do backflips if he re-signed right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've been on I don't think he's coming back because of that. And he said goodbye to Detroit, thank you, Detroit, all that. But then this Brad comment, or whatever was flowing around Twitter around it, gave me some excitement.
There was a lot that went on today with Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions. We got a couple tweets up here because none of the audio came out until after the show went live, unfortunately. But
here's the ones that we kind of recap mostly so far.
Oh, yeah. Here's from Colton Pouncey. He said they're likely to pick up Jameson's fifth-year option, saving money for extensions like Kirby and Hutch, I'm sure, and that's why Za'Darius got cut. So they couldn't afford Za'Darius in his previous contract.
Yep.
And that the get-in price for a quarterback was about $16 million a year.
And that makes what they did even more of a W. Because you got a top guy at that price. The get-in price was 16. Yep. So you mean you got one of the better guys at the floor price you're willing to pay? That's home run.
Yep.
Hell, I mean, we've already congratulated that one, graded A+ and stuff like that. But the Kirby stuff, interesting. I'm waiting for that to happen because, God damn it, sign him. He's an All-Pro this year.
Sign him.
He's been phenomenal for the past 2 years. 3 years.
He deserves it.
He does.
And you got to sign him now before next year when he makes the Pro Bowl. Then you have to pay him even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the contract escalators just naturally come in. All right, let's go to break. Come back. Let's talk about the Jameson Williams fifth year. I see a lot of comments about that in the Woodward Sports chat. But Feist, tell us about the socials, Chris.
Let me tell you about the socials. The best place, if you're not already tapped in, is right here. Woodward Sports, YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, all of that at Woodward Sports, the #1 Detroit sports digital network. You get breaking news here, live reactions from all the best personalities in Detroit sports right here at Woodward Sports. So go ahead and give us a follow on all social media platforms.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
We got
Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use promo code Woodward1000. Your first bet up to $1,000 will be risk-free, meaning if it doesn't hit, you'll get it back in bonus bets. Scan that QR code above my head. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Buongiorno And welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Spin More Rax, young Chris, no Nicholas Koloff, but we're still smashing that like button, and we're being friends, and we're telling friends. We got over those Za'Darius Smith stuff. Now it's time for, I think, an interesting topic, one that I was hinting towards previously in the past. Brad Holmes and the re-signing of these guys he's drafted. It's been like that year before the final year. And it's been, 3-4 years, re-upping them, keeping them. Jameson Williams expressed today, and again, I wish I had an actual video of it, but expressed today that they're going to pick up that fifth-year option, meaning it's an immediate future thing. Like we're going to keep him, but there's not that longevity thing yet, and I'm okay with that. I don't think there's anything to shit on there. I don't think there's anything to be upset about. I think he's at that point. Like we've been successful without him. We've been successful with him. He's had some, off the field stuff. Not anything that I think is like detrimental to him as a human being or like as it pertains to this team, but something you want to invest a lot of money into. When you have to invest a lot of money into everything else you got going on too, the Jameson Williams fifth-year option is a smart move, in my opinion, for Brad Holmes and Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the market for receivers really going higher than what it is right now. You just saw Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson get paid, so it's not like a new receiver is going to set the market anytime soon.
Yeah.
And like you said, you sign him this year, and then you can hopefully get the deal done in the season. Like mid-season, we saw Lee McNeil get his deal in the middle of the season, and he came back and he was.
I don't know if there will be one.
Yeah, I mean, you've expressed that opinion multiple times. I don't agree with it. I think they're going to re-sign Jameson Williams.
I think the fifth-year option is a sign of that, because otherwise he would have got that deal.
We'll see. I mean, maybe they want to see more from him. So you it's over. You don't think they're signing him at all?
I would say yeah. I would bet against it. Yeah.
And then you could tag him.
Shitting on Jane or anything like that.
You can use a franchise tag as well.
Yeah, you can tag him another year too. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like the fifth-year option is like that example of that. Like most of these guys, I guess Penei would be the first one because he was a first-year first-round pick. They didn't get to the fifth-year option. You locked him up right away. But Penei also performed at All of Fame level.
And there's also a difference.
All-Pro level.
J-Mo was, the 12th pick of the draft?
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that much of a difference between him and Penei, but him and Hutch is like this fifth-year option with this number 2 pick compared to the number 12 pick is way different.
Yeah. Hutch also a lot more consistent of a player, too, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
He's a lot more consistent of a player.
I think they both have one really good year.
No, Hutch has been amazing the entire way through.
Yeah, he's been great, but, I mean.
Hutch has been phenomenal. In comparison to Jameson Williams, you think Jameson Williams had as much success at receiver as Hutch has had at defensive end?
I think it's not that far off.
I think it's pretty far off.
Based on what?
Based on their performances.
Jameson Williams had a 1,000-yard receiving season.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, it still counts as a year.
Okay, that's fine. It's the very first year he's done that, right?
Yeah.
Hutch has consistently produced for you up until the injury.
Yeah, he has, and like I said, but Hutch had a really good season, and he hit 9.5 sacks. We expected him to take the jump next year or this year.
9.5 his rookie year.
Yeah,
11.5 his second year. And then before this year, he was able to get finished. He was at 7.5 before the injury.
Yeah, and he would have went
nuts.
Don't
forget the interceptions in there, the swatted balls. Like he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure.
On top of his teams having we've seen it against the Green Bay game, watching the tape, triple team. Like it's
definitely
the value is. There's way more value in Hutch right now.
Hutch has had 2 good years, and J-Mo only had 1. So if you want, then maybe that's what this fifth-year option is.
But even in that good year, I wouldn't compare like the Hutch's good year. Like Hutch has been phenomenal.
You wouldn't compare a 1,000-yard receiver to a 9.5 sack season?
I would not.
I would. I think it's pretty comparable.
Don't think at all. There's more than sacks as well.
What?
There's more than just sacks as well.
Yeah.
He's getting after the quarterback and his hands on the ball.
Yeah, scoring touchdowns. That's important too.
Rushing lanes for other guys too.
I mean, if you don't value a 1,000-yard receiving season, that's fine. I think Jameson Williams, they want to see him do it again, and that's why they signed him to this fifth-year option. Because right now, he's got 1 good season under his belt, and you want to see him do it again. Like Hutch has 2 good years under his belt, and then obviously this year he would have been fantastic if he didn't get injured.
Yeah.
And so Hutch is getting locked down. You're not even worried about Hutch's fifth-year option.
Yeah.
I was just saying that the difference between the number 2 pick's fifth-year option and the 12th pick's fifth-year option is a lot of money. So J-Mo's fifth-year option isn't going to be like $27 million or whatever. It'll be a reasonable deal.
Million.
Yeah, and that's a very good deal for a receiver of his caliber at that spot. $15 million a year for that type of receiver, you'll take that any day of the week. So that's why it makes more sense to franchise him than someone else.
Fifth-year option.
That's what I mean. Fifth-year option, J-Mo, than someone else because the number fits his production at his position more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the reason why. Hutch is, I mean, they're working on extending him now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing here? I think they're going to re-sign Hutch.
Yeah. I'm not saying you're saying they're not going to re-sign Hutch, but you're making it sound like they're only re-signing Hutch because the money's more on a fifth-year option.
That's not what I said. No, I'm saying that it's easier to do J-Mo's fifth-year option because he was the 12th pick and not the 2 pick.
Mm-hmm.
If he's the 2 pick and his fifth-year option is $27 million, you're probably not doing that. But since it's only $15 million, that's more incentive for them to do that, wait another year, and then try to get it done.
Hutch is $19 million, so $4 million more.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's anything to do with the makes sense to
the
do.
money. How much you don't think it matters how much the deal is?
No, I think he has more to prove.
Yeah.
You got the fifth-year option. You lock him down because, he is a good player and he is in your team. But before you make the full-time commitment with a deal that I don't think will reset the market, maybe I'm wrong. He proves us wrong this year and does something like that. But
I don't know about proves us wrong. You don't think he can do that again?
No, the statement I just made talking about resetting the market.
Oh, yeah. He's not going to reset the market.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I think at 50, like he has more to prove, I guess.
Yeah.
Versus where Hutch is at.
Yeah, you need to see him do it for another year. He's had one good year where he's been really good.
Yeah.
And now you want to see him do it again before you commit $20 million a season to him.
Jim Harbaugh, Brad Holmes, both spoke on Aiden Hutchinson come back from his injury today.
Mm-hmm.
They said they both fully expect him to be 100% what he was before.
I do too.
It's a broken bone.
Yeah,
this is not going to stop him.
I saw everybody saying that he might not be the same ever again. And we had a literal doctor sitting in there he's going to be fine.
Amen.
Yeah, so.
Lunchbox, Eazy, I owe you 100 if they don't re-sign J-Mo.
That's true.
I don't feel good
I think we got a pizza bet on it, too.
Yeah, I think we got a pizza bet on it, I'm sure. Chris, you had your hand up a few times?
Yeah, just because I wanted to chime in on the part of the comparing the Hutch and J-Mo. I know we kind of moved past that, but I think the context that was lacking in that conversation was the fact that Hutch while J-Mo became this last year an extremely focal point of the offense, we've always established that defensively, the game plan is entirely around Hutch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do this. This is not what this conversation is. Everybody knows that Hutchinson is more important to this team than Jameson Williams.
Okay, we just make sure you know.
Nobody said that he wasn't. Everybody knows they're going to re-sign Aiden Hutchinson. I was just saying the fifth-year option on the 12 pick is cheaper than the fifth-year option on the 2 pick.
Okay, I was just arguing the production part of it too, because while you can say 1,000-yard receiving and 9.5 sack are comparable to me, I would contextualize just how important Aiden Hutchinson is to the defense.
I'm with you on that.
And how if you take away J-Mo, this offense can still be very good, if not electric. And not saying you don't want J-Mo here, but just providing that kind of context to it. But
nobody's saying he's a better player than Aiden Hutchinson. There's a reason Aiden Hutchinson was the 2 pick and J-Mo was the 12 pick.
For sure.
There's a reason they'll be paid different amounts of money. There's a reason Jameson Williams is the second receiver on the team and Hutch is a blue chip defensive end. Like, nobody thinks that he's better than them.
No, I
shouldn't have used their draft position to describe.
The way you were talking about it with the seasons versus the Hutch's success.
That was
how
the
you
only
said
part
they're
I was
equivalent.
pushing
Like, I
back.
think Hutch is above that. That's why he's getting re-signed. Versus
I think Jameson Williams showed us last year he's an upper echelon receiver in the NFL with the season that he had. If you want to see him do it again, I agree. That's why you signed him to this.
It's not even to do it again. We're just saying that Hutch is more valuable. Hutch is a better player at his position.
The defensive end is a more important position than wide receiver.
Or even just a better player.
Yes, I just said that 2 seconds ago.
I know, but we were explaining why we were saying it because it made it sound like it was equivalent or the same, and it wasn't.
I think he's shown like I said when I said it, he's shown at his position, at his spot, he can go out there and have a top-tier level season. He needs to do it again.
I think we may see that too with Johnny Morton, just from some of the stuff we heard about him. Him playing the wide receiver. Do you know Johnny Morton ran a 4.3 back in his day?
Unit.
Fucking
he played wide receiver?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's a fast wild
Where did he
boy.
play in college? Do you know?
I think he played at Western.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I could be mistaken. I'll double check on that one. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Johnny Morton played wide receiver at Western. He didn't quite cut it in the league. Steve Lehman, don't make Spinny leave again.
Dude, the chat is terrified that this
just fucking gaslighting is ridiculous.
Can I confess?
No, it was just a setup.
I said it on stream already.
Oh, you already said it?
I said it on my Twitch last night.
We wanted to leave early for the Michigan State game.
Yeah. Already.
Mom and Dad are okay.
Already.
Mom and Dad are fine.
That was already in place.
We made love that night.
We were going to leave early.
I did get a 3 a.m. text.
I did get mad, though. Like, the getting mad wasn't fake, but then when we went to break, I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep it going. And then I wanted to see that. And I got to the bar just in time. So it worked.
Yeah, Super Bowl Wilson, that's exactly what I said, brother. There's more to being a defensive end than getting sacks. That's quite literally what I said.
Yeah.
So I talked about the batted balls.
Why is this?
I talked about getting triple teamed.
No hate fest for Hutch. This is
right. Okay, let's then take it back to J-Mo here before we go to break. Easy. I know you said you bet against it that J-Mo.
I think he might be the odd man out. Yes, I don't think that devalues him as a player.
But then you changed it to
I still
Kirby.
think he's
But then they just said Kirby.
Yeah,
I mentioned Kirby
because Kirby, why hasn't happened yet? I guess that's where I'm at with that one. Also, we may or may not have Kirby on the show, so when that deal comes, that's why I also want it to happen. Like, just fucking get over it, man.
Selfish.
Content's dry right now.
Yeah, that would be hype.
Yeah. But the reason why
Put a
again,
percentage
you've had
on
a
it.
successful offense without his input. And again, that's not devaluing him as a player. I still think he's a phenomenal talent. He still did what he did, but it's the fact that you've experienced success without that. Argue you went further, although he was available for those games in the NFC Conference Championship game. That's where he probably had his best playoff game.
Where he was the best player on the field.
Performance, yeah. But we lost that game ultimately.
Yeah.
But still, you got there off the merits of like everybody else. And I think you look at Jamie, we're talking about a very, very good guy. I don't know. I don't know him as a good guy, but good player.
Seems like a good guy.
Seems like a good guy. Honestly, seems like a great guy. And Pro Bowl, I think with Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, you're talking all pro. And that's just like a different.
I think Jameson Williams has the ability to be an all-pro receiver in the NFL.
I think he does too.
Like he had the least amount of catches for any receiver to get 1,000 yards last year.
So it makes sense the way he played. You know,
yeah.
He's the big play guy, the Yak King.
So then put a percentage on it, Easy. Put a percentage on chances J-Mo is here past the 5th-year option.
I would say 75. Because they'll tag him.
We're still 2 years away from that, so I'd probably, as a cop out, to say like 54, like 47, like somewhere within there.
47? That's such
47%.
a weirdly specific number.
Yeah, I mean we're still 2 years away. I think we got to see him in Johnny Mo's offense. Cause I do expect him to be more explosive in this one, just because Johnny Mo feels like that type of coordinator. He called up, listened to some of the stuff I've like gone back and read, or some things I've gone back and listened to. It feels like he's the guy that drew up a lot of the explosives in that offense in 22 or 23, whatever year it was he was here. And now he's your play caller. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that stuff.
Spencer, where are you at percentage-wise? You said 75?
He said he's going to be here after the 5th year, probably 75%. Because if you don't re-sign him, they're definitely going to franchise tag him.
Okay. If I were to just rephrase that then to second contract. And
to get a second contract here in Detroit?
Easy.
I would say probably 60, 65%.
Okay. You claim there is more to being an defensive end than getting sacks, yet you still want Za'Darius Smith as a team. How? I don't
know.
You're an idiot.
He's on a soapbox.
Yeah. You're wrong.
Listen to me.
He's still in contact with his agent for a reason. You're contradicting yourself. Do you trust Brad or not?
Yeah. And
Which one is it?
And you're not going to have 5 Aiden
That was almost like
you're not going to have 5 Aiden Hutchinsons on your
If you think Za'Darius Smith is a bad football player, don't talk football. Just don't open your mouth. Don't embarrass yourself. I guess you have a nameless, faceless profile. You can say whatever you want.
It's true.
Keep
Buddies.
Buddies. There it is. Buddy's Pizza has been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. 79 years later, they still have 22 locations in the state of Michigan, and fans can still visit where it all began in the corner of 6 Mile and Kone. 6 Mile and Kone. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards to earn points for every purchase and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app and start earning today. Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's promo code, the numbers 10, MEAL, Buddy'sPizza.com. Damn.
The boys of summer.
Jesus
are ready
Christ,
to
dude.
get back
Turn
to
that
the
down.
playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight.
So artistic.
Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
I'm sure autistic.
How do people feel about getting
So
a Planet
hard.
Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Jars, cannabis, guys, top shelf quality, unmatched variety and price for the people. I was just there this Saturday. Picked myself up a couple hash holes, aka donuts. I think they got a 3 for $30 on those, which is like unheard of. Make sure you stop by Jars Cannabis. They got 27 locations across the great state of Michigan. Find one near you by visiting shopjars.com or follow them for those deals I was talking about. Jars_life. That's shopjars.com, including locations coming to Madison Heights, Grand Rapids, and Milan. I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Oh, what up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Smith Action. Chris, smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. We're kind of talking about the future of Jameson Williams. It's obviously, we know what it is. We won't be decided till that 5th year, probably. So, after the season, I'm probably thinking. Or, I mean, it could happen before, too. You never know. Other things coming out of today's pressers. Hendon Hooker. He was asked why they brought in Kyle Allen.
Yeah, we have a tweet from somebody. I forget who it's from.
I think
From
it's
Eric Woodyard.
Eric Woodyard,
Shout
yeah. He
out
says,
at the
Brad Holmes says adding quarterback Kyle Allen is competition for Hendon Hooker to win the QB2 spot. They didn't feel he was ready for the playoffs. Still got high hopes for him, but nobody's going to be given a job either, he said. So if Hendon wants to be the number 2 quarterback, then win the number 2 quarterback job. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Like, Eazy tried to tell you, I tried to tell you, it's you don't go get Teddy Bridgewater and bring him back in here for the playoffs if you're comfortable with Hendon Hooker as your second quarterback.
Yep.
They're not comfortable with where he is in his development. They don't think that he is good enough to, if Goff has to miss a series or like he did in the playoffs, or he has to, he rolls his ankle or something, has to miss a game or two, they don't feel comfortable with Hendon Hooker being that guy right now. And that sucks to hear, but it was kind of obvious. Like I said, when they went out and got Teddy Bridgewater, who was coaching high school and had more confidence in him being that guy than Hendon Hooker, I think that says a lot. So, you go out there and prove him wrong. There's no reason that he shouldn't be able to beat Kyle Allen out for this job. No reason.
With you on that one. I think the way to put it in context for the people that are kind of hurt, or the believers that Hendon Hooker was a little bit more than what he's been. Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah.
I just want you to remember how bad Nate Sudfeld was. I also want you to remember that Nate Sudfeld was playing with the second string, and he was still worse than Hendon Hooker. That is where Hendon Hooker is. The fact they brought in Nate Sudfeld and thought that he may be QB2. He may be the answer for that. That's where they are, the confidence in Hendon Hooker. He's got the talent. There's no question about that. I think you've heard from the players. I think you've heard from the coaches. The way they talk about the ball he throws, they drool over it. I just think it's the system, which I guess probably is a complicated one, that he has to get down. They calling his protections, staying back there and actually throwing the football, going through his progressions versus tucking the ball and running. And I think you can still win games like that in an emergency situation, but they don't have the faith in it right now. That's where it's at. I think the conversation I really wanted to have or fight against is where people want to call it a wasted pick. When you put in the context of when that draft was made, when they had that draft, I said it before here on this very program. They didn't know if Jared Goff was going to turn into a pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just where we were at. We didn't know if it was more of the system. We know it's more JG. JG continued to grow. You continue to keep Ben Johnson, who helped you a lot out. And also, JG continued to grow within that system as well. And now you're bringing in John Morton, who we'll talk about later on today, that Dan Campbell reiterated once more, helped build the system. We're good. Now we have to get a solid guy in the backup because Hendon Hooker just hasn't been it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say it's a wasted pick.
In the NFL.
I'm going to say it's a wasted pick. If he's still battling for a backup quarterback spot after being in this system for this long and he's not comfortably there
but you
as a third-round pick, that's a wasted pick. Just like I think Broderick Martin is a wasted pick. And this isn't, Brad Holmes sucks. He can't draft. No, it happens. That happens to everybody. Not everybody goes 10 for 10. Like, you're going to miss on a couple of them, and that's fine. But, yeah, I think he obviously missed on Hendon Hooker, and he missed on Broderick Martin. If neither of them played, you're a third-round pick. I need you to play. I need you to produce. I need you to do something. At least get some games under your belt. And
I mean, I'm sorry.
I know you think that you can't be a bust as a third-round pick, which I think is crazy personally. I think third-round picks are pretty valuable assets, and you want to get a guy that will play games for you at some point in his career. So, yeah, I think right now Hooker and Broderick Martin both same boat. You guys know how I feel about backup quarterbacks. I couldn't care less who your backup quarterback is because I don't think any one is that much better than the other ones, or they'd be a starter somewhere. So, whatever. But I understand your point too, where like you didn't know what was going on. That was before Jared Goff signed his deal. That's before Jared Goff went out there and had two, MVP level seasons in a row. So.
And the hit rate in quarterbacks is tough. So if you're drafting a guy that fell you in the third round, like I'm not expecting that guy to move on to be an all-star. Like I can't call that a wasted pick. You took a swing and you missed. That's what the draft is most of the time, and especially at the quarterback position. How many guys have we seen go number 1 overall, top 5, not pan out to be shit? Zach Wilson was a second overall pick in the draft.
And that's a wasted pick?
Yeah, a second overall pick for sure.
Yeah, it looks a lot worse when it's the second overall pick than when it's a third-round pick, but you could still
I just can't call a third-round pick wasted pick because like you're not selecting from the best crop of talent at that point. At that point, you're kind of just taking swings.
I mean, teach their own. I mean, teach their own. That's what a GM would do in the third round. I think it's very fair. I'm with Spencer on that. I think it's very fair to expect a third-round pick to have value. But, you can acknowledge that this is a swing, like especially when you're taking a position like quarterback. At first, I didn't want to read too much into this quote because, the whole competition thing, I mean, that's what everything has been about this Detroit Lions culture. So to me, that whole part about bringing in Kyle and fighting for QB2 made sense. But it's that first part when he talks about, in the playoffs, we felt he wasn't ready. That's the indicting part on him. It's not the bringing in a competition for a quarterback too.
Yeah.
It's the fact because that's what the Lions have done with every position, every single position. Unless you're a clear-cut Aiden Hutchinson type of player, you have competition walking into training camp. Your spot is not guaranteed. So, that part didn't shock me, but the part about the playoffs part, yeah. And I won't call it a wasted pick just because of the context that you provided, Eazy. You did have to kind of take a swing and have at least some type of somewhat insurance plan. And so I will say I don't think the pick is a bust production-wise. He didn't do anything, but I won't call it a bust because I think that quarterback is the extreme exception to bust because, like I said, most of the time they're not playing.
Yep.
And I look at Brad Holmes' third-round picks, other than Hendon Hooker and Broderick Martin,
Lee McNeil, Kirby Joseph,
and Ife Melifonwu. And then you look at some of the guys taken after Hendon Hooker in that draft class. You've got Kendre Miller, Tank Dell, Byron Young, Tucker Kraft, Josh Downs, Tajay Spears, Yaya Diaby, Riley Moss, Devon A-Chain, Dayon Henley, Trenton Simpson, Kobe Turner,
draft.
Damarian Overshone, Darnell Washington, Michael Wilson.
That's gonna happen every draft. Like you don't have access to every single pick. You know.
What do you mean?
You don't have access to every single pick. Like draft these guys. Like there are going to be guys that go after your pick that go on to have successful careers. I don't think that makes a third round a bust.
I think it does when your pick hasn't played a snap in the NFL. And
well, he's drafted to be a backup quarterback.
The Lions could have had a player that made an impact there, and they've shown that they draft players in the third round who make impacts. And I just listed a lot of guys that I rather would have had than them. So yeah, it's not like that's what Steve Lehman says. Talent was there. That's what it is. It's not like at that point there was nobody left and it's all right. We got to take a shot at Hendon Hooker here. There was still talent available.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to harp on this, but I also don't want to just be like, no, it's fine.
It is fine
because I think third round picks are important. If you don't, that's okay.
Yeah, we disagree on that one for sure. The Rona 99. I loved Overshone too. I was a big Overshone guy.
Yep.
Now he's killing it in Dallas. And he got hurt last year, but I think he'll come back and be pretty good. Gromit 0237 says calling it a bust admits failure, and you can't because you're Lions fans.
I just called it a bust multiple times.
I can't call any third round pick a bust. Where I'm at, that's just where I'm at.
Easy. Where I would disagree with, where I would flip it on you is that how many segments did we spend talking about? If AG leaves, you get that third round pick. That means by you propping up that third round pick, that means that there is value there, and that's why I can't.
There's value in any
equate it
pick. I think determining how to use. I think a third round pick is a value if you use it as a tool.
Yeah, it's an asset
a third round
for
pick
sure.
to move up to grab Terran Arnold last year. Obviously, you could go and draft a Kirby Joseph, an example, and Lee McNeil, an example.
But it wouldn't be an asset if. It wouldn't be a real asset.
You can't call a third round pick a bust because he's a third round pick. If you had all pro expectations for a third rounder,
nobody has all pro expectations for him, but you have expectations that they'll play snaps.
Yeah, we drafted a quarterback who was already coming into a situation.
Yeah, and that's why it's a wasted pick.
You can't.
If you're going to draft a quarterback that's not going to play at all for your team, why wouldn't you draft him in the 6th round?
Because you drafted a guy to be your reserve quarterback. You drafted him to be your QB2. Now, if he obviously ends up coming out and not becoming your QB2, sure, if you want to call it a wasted pick. I just can't call a third-round pick a bust because you don't have realistic expectation from at that point, especially at the quarterback position when you had Jared Goff coming into it.
My realistic expectations for third-round picks is that they're going to play at some point in their contract.
So you thought Hendon Hooker was set locked to come in?
I thought he had the talent to go out there and play. And if you don't have the talent to even be a backup or even to be available to play like you weren't in the playoffs last year.
Is beyond, you're saying he'd be locked to be QB1 of the future. He was drafted to be a backup.
And he wasn't that last year. And he wasn't that last year.
He was until the playoffs.
Yeah, and he wasn't. So when he was needed to
Teddy
be a backup, he wasn't.
Yeah.
So they don't trust him to be that. So he's not good enough to be what he was drafted to be.
I expect him to play. He's a reserve guy.
And he had an opportunity where that reserve guy would have played.
They're reserved.
If he was good enough, he would have played last year because there was an opportunity for his reserve position to play, but he wasn't. So you're saying you drafted him to be a backup quarterback.
Correct.
He's not even that.
He is.
He is not.
He is.
Then why didn't he play in the playoffs when Goff went down?
Because Teddy Bridgewater's better in their eyes.
Yeah, so he's not a backup quarterback then. He's a third-string quarterback.
But still, you're saying to expect to play. He was drafted to be reserved. He's not going to play.
He had an opportunity. If he was that reserve, he would have played last year. Yeah. But he wasn't, and he didn't. And you're not living up to your draft expectations then.
He was reserved the entire way through the season up until playoffs.
I mean, that's what matters most.
It is. But you can't draft a quarterback third round. He doesn't play. That's a bust.
Then you should never draft a quarterback then. In the third round. I
don't agree.
You wouldn't rather have Yaya Diaby on this team than Hendon Hooker right now?
No, I'd for sure rather.
Or Byron Young? Or any of the, that's what I'm saying. I expect, and I could say the same thing for Broderick Martin. You're drafted in the third round. I expect you to play. I expect you to make play. I expect you to be what you were. I don't expect you to be a superstar. I don't expect you to be an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
If you are, that's awesome, and you got it right. But to not even be the backup on this team is a failure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree when it comes to context with third-round picks. I think they're swings. I think all draft picks are, especially when we get to that point in the draft. But we would talk about Planet Fitness.
I will tell them about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone. Real quick, sorry. Super Bowl Wilson, it says playoffs matter most at Spemorx. What did Za'Darius do against the Commanders? What did Jared Goff do against the Commanders? Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where everybody can get a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. Get all that for just $15 a month. Upgrade to the Black Card, get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Guys, Grand Slam Festival next week. We'll be there turning up at the Detroit Opera House April 4th, starting at 9 a.m. Make sure you guys pull up. Visit GrandSlamDetroit.com. Get your tickets. It's brought to you by Mad Packs. It's brought to you by Jars. And it's brought to you by White Claw. Ain't no law when you're off the claw. It's the Grand Slam Opening Day Festival, downtown Detroit.
Shout out to Doc Macaroon of the
shout out
Sports Illustrated. He put out Lions Visit Watcher, all their pre-draft visits.
Yeah.
And the top 30 visits so far. You've got Chaz Chambliss, linebacker, Georgia. Len Larizan, running back, UC Davis.
Running back.
Gray Zabel, interior offensive line, North Dakota State. Josiah Stewart, defensive end, Michigan. And Ruben Hippolyte, the second, linebacker, Maryland.
That's a last name?
Hippolyte.
My bad. I'm trying to pull up some of Za'Darius numbers from the playoffs. I'm curious. I wanted to see them in terms of pressure and whatnot, but for some reason this website is garbaggio.
A lot of linebackers. Yeah, two. So far, they've only got 5 of their top 30 visits so far. 2 of them linebackers. And Josiah Stewart, who's basically a rush
Neither of them your boy, though?
Huh?
Neither of them your boy, though?
No, not Jahad Campbell.
They meet with him at the Combine?
The Pro Day visits, I don't know.
Or Combine visit, I should say?
The Pro Day visits are Austin Peavy. Wait, what? Oh. 2 guys from Austin Peavy. Dorian Davis, a defensive back, and Jesse Johnson III, a cornerback. Albion College quarterback, Luke Lovell. Grand Valley State safety. All the Pro Day visit guys are going to be late rounders, if anything. And then local days, all the Michigan guys. Tight end, Malik Carr. Shout out, Spartan Dog. Yeah, nothing crazy yet. It's going to keep updating as they go on, though. So obviously they got a lot more top 30 visits that they're still going to do. But
Nice.
Only defensive end to be a top 30 visit for the Lions so far is Josiah Stewart.
Yeah, I had a epiphany about the Detroit Lions in the draft. Let's get the Dan Campbell stuff first, actually. Do you have the Johnny Morton video?
Yes, I do.
Run it. I guess I could have went to it there.
I don't know.
Or is it all just losing?
Yeah, I think, I'm sure there's enough guys that would tell you it was a little different, the ones who went through both of them, that it still felt the same from the standpoint that you lose the game, but it was a little different in the way it went down. I would tell you it's the same. It's disappointing, and it hurts. And and it motivates you. I mean, ultimately, that's it. You either win the Super Bowl or you're in line with everybody else to try to win the Super Bowl the next year, and that's where we're at.
You mentioned the coaching.
I couldn't hear anything to the end.
That was the one on him talking about losing last year.
Oh, it just still sucks.
And how it still sucks. Yeah, and he said, I know for some reason some Lions fans refuse to believe that they said it was Super Bowl or bust last year, even though they did multiple times. Everybody did. But if you need more credit or more, evidence, that's Dan Campbell right there saying it's Super Bowl or bust every season. You either win the Super Bowl or you're in the line of losers that didn't. So it's good to hear that.
Amen. I'm with you on that one. That's just how he is, the competitive nature. Like, if he were to take the other approach, which you can in hindsight, like after the fact, be proud that you got there, all the injuries, stuff like that too. But if he were to take that approach or have that mentality, he wouldn't be going to the game with good faith. He would be going to the game with the belief that you could win it, and that's just like an automatic red flag there. Like, I think you should be hurt because you were there competing. And to be honest with you, without the turnovers, you probably win that game.
Yeah.
Bad defense and all.
Oh, for sure.
Like, that's the most frustrating part about it. And then I have to go into this offseason and see the Commanders paraded as the second-best team in the NFC because of it. Like, that's the one thing I hate about NFL, which is all sports, really. Mainly NFL, though. Like, a lot of stuff's just thrown in your face without just the context surrounding it. And they just want you to believe it. And it's the Commanders' number 2 team in the NFC. I'm not on board with that.
I'm not on board with that either.
I guess year 2, Jaden can take a jump. They got Larry Tunsil. They got Deebo Samuel. You see what they got to do in the draft, too. We'll see. But, yeah, they got to beat like a healthy Detroit Lions team, that caliber team, before I could believe anything, because you beat a so-so Buccaneers team that's also dealt with his own injuries. And then you got your ass mollywopped by the Philadelphia Eagles.
And the Lions would have beat them that bad if they wouldn't have turned the ball over.
Like
you look at,
I don't know if it would have been that bad, but we would have definitely beat them if we were a healthy team.
We would have hung 50.
It would have been
on
like
them.
that. Yeah, exactly.
We would have hung 50 on them
Exactly.
if we weren't healthy. If it was the team we saw out there and they didn't turn the ball over, they would have hung 50 on them. They went out there and they were getting ready to go up 14-3, and then obviously the first turnover happens. So, yeah, no, I don't think that the Commanders are a better team than the Detroit Lions. I think they played better that day, and they were a healthier team, and that's really, in the playoffs in the NFL, all it comes down to is health and execution. And if you don't execute, you'll get sent home, because that's what it's win or go home. And like I've said before, I've said it multiple times now, the only reason, or the biggest reason that the Eagles won the Super Bowl wasn't because of Saquon Barkley. It was because they had 21 of 22 day one starters playing in that Super Bowl.
And don't get me wrong, I still think J. Daniels is very good.
Absolutely.
I just think us healthy as a team
is better.
Correct.
I agree.
We have another video from Dan Campbell. You want to play that one?
That was the only one that was sent in from Dan. We have one from Ben. Is the other one we have sent in.
Oh, did it not go through?
That is the other one we have.
But yeah, I just like that. That's more evidence. I mean, we knew it was last year. I mean, I thought everybody knew it was last year, because pretty much all of the big figures in the Detroit Lions organization said last year was Super Bowl or bust. And that's what it is now. You're sitting at the big boy table. If you don't win the Super Bowl, your season is a failure. 15 regular season wins don't matter.
It's arguably a bigger failure then, because you're the number 1 seed. There's no excuse to have lost that game. Yeah, we have the excuse of injuries after the fact, but like as a competitor, as the team, as the coach, you don't give yourself that excuse. You lost. We didn't do a good enough job. I think if you want to talk about coaching specifically, the biggest coaching failure to me, and this is in Dan Campbell's lap because I went and did the homework on it, the 12 men in the field, in the red zone, third down. You can stop them, get the ball back here, do something with it, because your healthy side of the ball was the offense.
Yeah.
And no, you had 12 men in the field. And the worst time to have a mental mistake like that. I hadn't seen anything like that all year out of the Detroit Lions.
No.
And here you are in the playoffs. That was just unfortunate. And no, Calvin Shepard can't call that timeout. No, AG can't call that timeout. It has to be the head coach.
Yeah, you get into the playoffs, and it's the best of the best in the NFL. It's the best teams going up against the best teams. And like I said, it's health and execution.
Yep.
If you execute what you're trying to do, if you execute your game plan, you're going to win. It's just you didn't, and you weren't healthy, so that's what happens. I'm pretty sure their game plan wasn't to turn the ball over 5 times.
And then here's the part that gets you guys a little bit excited, at least me. Got a little blood pumping through the veins.
Just one of the things that jumped out at me right away about the John Morton hiring was that you know him. You took a lot of the unknowns out of the equation when you bring in somebody that you've already worked with. Because when you hire somebody, you may think you know.
Yeah, that's right.
But you may not know.
That's right.
How big was that?
It was huge. It was huge. And, you know, I've got a lot of faith in John Morton. I've worked with him closely at the Saints. And then obviously, just like you said, we had him here. You know, he's our senior offensive assistant in 2022 here. He knows golf. He knows Saint. You know, he knows Sewell, he knows Frank, he knows that you get the point. He knows some of the staff that's still here, certainly Hank and Brew that were here. So it just felt right. It felt like he was compatible to what we were doing. A ton of the things that we've done to this point, Johnny had brought. You know, he helped us build this kind of from the get-go. So we'll change a little bit, but it was just big. There is a trust level there.
For me, that's the part right there. When he talks about how many times I switched. I believed the Detroit Lions could win. I was years telling you guys, I don't think Jared Goff do it. I don't think Jared Goff do it. I don't think Jared Goff do it in the context of winning a Super Bowl. I said, right when we got him in 2022, I had that big argument with Neil. I think he win you a playoff game. I think he win you a division. I don't know that he can win you a Super Bowl. And then I drove it all out. I was like, you know, the type of quarterback Jared Goff is, you need to have a stacked roster to get the job done. Lo and behold, future plays out. Brad Holmes just happens to be the fucking man and delivered you that stacked roster.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, just the great coaching between Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell, the cohesiveness builds in. Year 2, year 3, year 4, and finally. And now you're seeing Jared Goff have the best career of his year. And then I flip. I say, you know what? I think they could do it. The camaraderie, the cohesiveness. And when you bring in a guy like Johnny Morton, that's exactly what you did. If everything's true, and this, again, the second time it's been reiterated that he's helped build that offense from the foundation up. It's not just Ben Johnson. It was a key part of it, too. That brings back that into the conversation for me. The cohesiveness in terms of how everything's gelling together, how everything moves along together. It's like I watched this movie called Smart House last night.
It's a good movie.
Great movie. Great movie. It was
the mom from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah. Kind of hot.
Yeah, she is hot. People know.
It was a projection of the downfall from the AI to society.
That is funny that you were watching that.
Yeah. Why?
Because you're Captain AI.
I am Captain AI.
Captain AI.
I put my son on game. Don't fall for this AI bitch. But either way, they got to call over Sarah to fix the house every time it goes wrong because Sarah helped build the fucking house. She knows what's going on. She knows how to make it run smoothly. Well, John Morton helped build this offense. He knows how to make it run smoothly. I don't think we're going to miss too many steps in that one, switching over to him. I think that's, for me, a guy that was, I guess, a doubter in Jared Goff, is a doubter in Jared Goff without that type of cohesiveness or coaching. To have that reiterated one more time, I might be back on board talking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only talk you can have with this Lions team. I think they are a Super Bowl contender, and they're going to go out there and they're going to prove it. I said they're going to have a top 5 defense or top 5 offense. I don't expect much of a fall off at all from that offense. And part of it is because John Morton, and part of it's because this offense is kind of idiot proof with all the weapons that you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's very comfortable. They're very comfortable with him. They brought in a guy David Shaw that Dan Campbell is also very happy with and very comfortable with. He said he's gonna help Johnny Morton's blind spots.
Yeah.
Is what you bring David Shaw in there. So maybe those accusations of him being too pass happy.
That's what we said with Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
Run the ball.
Exactly.
You bring him in to keep him honest. Yeah, I'm feeling. And again, like Smig just said too, the offense is also foolproof. Like, there's no way Johnny Morton can fuck this up. I don't know if it'll function as high as it did last year, and maybe in different ways it will. Like I said, I think Jameson Williams probably be more explosive and more consistent piece of this offense moving forward. But the main thing, run the fucking ball. It will set everything else up for you beautifully, Jameson Williams included. Stack the box, force him to stack the box, and punch him in the face over and over.
Yeah.
And over and over and over again.
And then you hit him with the body blow.
Yep.
And that's J-Mo going down or across the middle.
Yeah. And I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I said top 3 running back in the game. When you're in the red zone, give Dave Montgomery the fucking ball. Please. That's all I'm asking for. Give him the ball. That's
Easy
his
one,
specialty.
Montgomery gone. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Burn in the Woodward Sports Chat says, Hooker wasn't a bust because we got a ton of picks to draft him. Martin is the bust because we used those picks acquired moving back to draft Martin. That's fair. I think they both are, but I'm not mad at it. Hank is the run game coordinator too, says Phil. Absolutely. Absolutely he is. And you have a good, group of offensive minds in there with John Morton, David Shaw, Hank Fraley, and Mark Brunell. So I expect this offense to not miss a beat next year. And I've been pretty steady with that since they hired John Morton.
Yeah, I mean, again, I won't make the claim of a top 5, but damn sure top 10. Like they'll be a high functioning offense. They'll be dangerous. They can strike at any given moment. I mean, look at the players they got.
Chris, tell us about merch.
Let me tell you about merch. The best place to get Detroit sports merch is right here at Woodward Sports. We got all teams, all seasons, hoodies, hats, all of that. Make sure you are tapping in with the best Detroit sports swag in the game. WoodwardSports.com. Go to the website, click the shop tab, and get yourself some brand new merch.
Merch?
The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Woodward Sports is at it again, giving away more cash and prizes than anyone in Detroit. Get into our March Bracket Challenge, powered by Jug and Nathan Neurosurgery. If you have the biggest basketball brain and get first place, you win $1,000 cold hard cash. But it doesn't stop there. Second place gets a weekend at Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, including brunch at Erie and golf. Third place, 2 club seats to see the Pistons versus Bucks with food and drinks courtesy of RHB Laboratories in Troy. You can pre-register now at WoodwardSportsBracket.com. That's WoodwardSportsBracket.com. Then, after Selection Sunday, fill out your bracket for your chance at $1,000 in cash money and more. Pick by mascot, choose by team colors, have your dog picked. No matter how you do it, go to WoodwardSportsBracket.com right now and register. All powered by the best in the game, Jug and Nathan Neurosurgery and Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
What up, though? Welcome back to What If It's live on sports.com. I'm Eazy, Joe Bias, more reaction. Chris, smash that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. Correct. Nick is in Turkey getting his hair plugged. So,
and his butt.
Congrats on the wedding.
Congrats on the wedding.
Congrats on the wedding, Nick.
I saw a comment I wanted to read in the Woodward Sports chat. Doug Dirk said he opened a can of worms on the other's place because they said I said D-Mont was slowing down. He is slowing down. It doesn't make him a bad player. He's still a good player. I think he just needs to be used in his spots where he's good at, which is the short yardage, breaking tackles, first and third and inches, goal line, stuff like that. Evidence stats suggest that as well. His yards per carry went down from 2023-2024.
By how much?
4.2 versus 4.6 the prior year. His rushing yards over expected was plus in 2023. And 2024, it was 0. Just dead even 0. His rushing yards EPA, he was plus 5 in 2023, minus 10 in 2024.
What does EPA mean?
Expected points added.
Don't care.
So in the situation of 3rd and 1, throughout the history of time, 3rd and 1 at the 54-yard line, what has been the expectation of that player?
But his speed was off the charts.
His speed was off the charts, though. He is slowed down, and that's generally what happens when it comes to running backs, 28 to 30. That's what happens. It's a natural progression of a running back. That's why they've been devalued. That doesn't make him a bad player. Again, I think in his spots, he's still very valuable.
He was hurt, too.
He wasn't hurt until when he was hurt, he was out.
Yeah, and then he came back. They rushed him back.
He come back to the playoffs.
With what was it?
Wasn't it a torn ACL?
He was out.
Sorry.
He didn't play until the playoff game?
Yeah. He only played
Wasn't it a
14
torn
games.
meniscus?
By the way, for the context of that as well, just actually some more context for it, I guess I should say. Granted, there were more carries in 2023. He had 1,015 yards in 2023 to 775 in 2024. Rushing yards over expected. He had 62 rushing yards over expected in 2023.
That shit, dude. That
He
shit's so
had
annoying.
-4 rushing yards over
You like
expected
those stats now?
in 2024.
You like the made up stats now?
I mean, there's stats to help me say it. I mean, I could obviously tell you that I've seen it, but if I could provide you some numbers for context, sure, I'll give them to you. But you also just watch with your eyes. He's not exploding through the holes or finishing runs like he did the year prior, and that's just how it goes. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. He's just slowing down. That's what happens. You take the abuse he's taken, especially playing the way he does. He is a very physical style of running back. And I don't know what my boy Lucas said. I got a couple texts from Lucas heading into that season that he wanted Gibbs with the strap more times than not. I did have an epiphany over the weekend though. Just thinking through some things in terms of Brad Holmes in the draft, and I tweeted it out and expressed it. But I guess to go into more context here on the show, I really think we may trade back. And I know these things switch, but it's the same way you do with these mocks. You actually think on things a little bit too long, and you go away from what you initially planned on. But I think typically in every single draft, I think there's like 15 to 20 guys that general managers have first-round grades on. Like, they view this guy as a first-round player. And then you select them, obviously. If a certain guy falls, like a Tyrion Arnold, then you make sure you move up to grab him before that round ends if that was the final guy on your board. Detroit Lions pick at 28, similar situation as last year. They're probably going to have to move up to grab one of the guys they view as a first-round draft pick. I think if most of the guys are off the board, or the asking price is too high to get to where they got to go to grab who they view as that first-round talent, it makes so much more sense for them to go back in the draft and grab more guys in the second round and or third round or wherever it may be.
Third rounds are just swings. They're not actually players.
Take another swing. Absolutely. Then take a guy you don't view as a first-round pick specifically because of the contracts we got coming up. If you're building this team, the nucleus of this team is all about to get paid here pretty soon. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, obviously already Aiden Hutchinson. We're talking about Jameson Williams now too. Sam Laporte is going to be in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need a lot more rookie contracts to fill out the rest of the fluff. Like you said, they signed 20 guys this offseason. To a lot of
one-year deals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of,
1 year, 1.4
sure.
million, stuff like that.
You need a lot of those type of contracts. It would make sense to have a kerfluffle of those in the second or third round versus just forcing your hand at the first round pick.
So you'd rather him trade down than trade up?
It's not. I would rather. I view it as that's probably what he's probably going to do. Me personally would rather him trade up, go get that first round talent. I see a window. I say we go for it. I think you've watched that work out for teams. Obviously not every time, but I think it worked out for the Eagles. I think it's worked out for the Rams. Just name a few. But I think what he's going to do if one of those guys isn't available or the asking price is too high to go and get him, he's going to move back because you got to build your roster. Same thing you said with these contracts. You kind of have to sign these guys.
I still think it all comes down to who his guy is. Because if his guy is projected 15th, then I think he goes and gets him. If his guy is projected 40th, again, you never know.
The asking price too high, though, to go get him.
Yeah, we've always said too the greatest ability Brad Holmes has, or one of the greatest abilities he has, is not only to evaluate talent, but to get a sense for where to move in the draft to get that player. So, again, just because he's 40th on other people's boards doesn't mean he's not one on Brad Holmes' board. So there could be that guy that's floating in the second round, that's projected second round. He knows he can move back and get him, but he thinks for whatever his reason is that player is better than the guys that are projected in the top 15. And so to me, that's what it comes out to. Maybe that's a cop-out answer, but I just think he is going to get his guy. He's shown whether that's trading back, trading up, he is willing to move whatever assets it costs to get that guy. I get it. You're making a great point about the contracts and a lot of one-year contracts. So you need to kind of restock and replenish yourself. But if his guy is 17, I just find it hard-pressed for him to not move up and get it. Maybe 17 is a little too high, but move up to 21, I could see that. Spencer, where are you at with it?
Yeah, I think he wants to get his guy to pair next to Aiden Hutchinson in the first round. I think that's what he's trying to do. I think That's what I expect him to do. I would be really surprised if he didn't get an edge rusher in the first round with what we saw him do last year in the draft in a similar situation and in a similar talent pool, but with cornerbacks instead of edges this year. I don't know. It makes sense. What Easy's saying makes sense, definitely, but I would be surprised if they don't pick in the first round this year.
I wouldn't. Again, me preference-wise, again, I'm in the move up. Fucking fuck them picks. Go get your guy. If it's all the way up at 15, I don't know what type of deal we're talking. Then I'm sure it's more than a third-round pick, maybe two or three of them. But if that's what you got to take to go get a guy that you perceive can help you win a Super Bowl, then go ahead and do it. Do you think there's someone worth that?
To move up that far?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think if if it was between getting an edge and not getting an edge, I think it's worth it. And
no matter the caliber of edge.
I mean, if you're moving up that far, you're looking at a Shamar Stewart or Mike Green, right? Or whoever you perceive to be that third edge. If you're moving up to 15, that's what you're going to get. I think it would be well worth it. Yes.
I'm looking up the trade chart. I'm sorry for the draft.
Is there a guy that you would pound the table for? Because I don't really have a name that I'd pound the table for.
Yeah.
I like Mikael Williams a lot. But I don't know about trading up to 15 for him.
I'm sorry. I'm doing some math on this trade chart. I apologize. Second rounder. You probably have to give up a second rounder and some change. I think I'd be willing to do that.
I would.
The name, if I can't put a name on it though, you know. I don't know. I like Shamar a lot. Would you be willing to give up a second rounder to go get him?
No.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather take a swing at a second rounder and get who I'm getting at 28, or get multiple swings at 20.
That's what I'm saying. If you could tell me that none of those guys are going to be there at 28, if the best edge rusher on the board at 28 is Nick Scorton, then yeah, I'd move up to get one of those guys, and I'd give a second round pick to do it.
Okay.
But I think some of those guys are going to be there around 28.
Yeah.
So
it's fun, man. Do these mock drafts is crazy. You see some of these names fall to you at 28. It's like it sounds crazy thinking they would, but like you logically deduce your way there anyway, and they were there available for the picking. We do got to go break though, pay some bills.
Tell you about Les Stanford. I'll tell you about Les Stanford.
Tell us about Loom.
Les Stanford is what I'll tell you about is Les Stanford. Les Stanford Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2024 Envision Avenir for only $299 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for $229 per month. Don't forget that the 2025 Hummer EV SUV is also $799 per month. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC. LesStanford.com.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
The Detroit Tigers are locked and loaded for another great summer in Detroit. And it all starts downtown at the biggest home opener party in the city. Join Woodward Sports at Grand Slam Festival as we take over the Detroit Opera House parking lot. A big-ass tent for a big-ass Detroit party. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFestival.com or follow Woodward Sports on X and IG for your chance to get in for free. Party across from Comerica Park and hear the roar as the Tigers take the field for the first time in 2025. DJs, food trucks, bartenders, live broadcasts, and more. See you for the Tigers' first home game of the season, April 4th at the Grand Slam Festival with Detroit's biggest party animals, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
Buongiorno, welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Mailbag from Broder. He says, speaking of sports, how far does cornerback Will Johnson have to fall for Brad to say F it? Let's go and get another one. I don't know if he goes corner for sure.
I don't think he goes corner.
I think Will's really good. I think if Will falls near 18.
He's not trading up for Will. If
Will falls like
if he
17,
fell to
18,
28,
yeah, I'll pick up the phone.
He'd grab him, but I don't think he's going to trade up for Will Johnson.
Yeah, I'm saying around like 17, 18. And the same with like the other guys too. Like I don't know, dude, because Shamar's falling down these mock drafts.
Yeah,
too.
Matt Miller had Kenneth Grant going in the second round.
Yeah, that I don't understand. That is a guy. If that's a scenario, you take at 28. That's a home run pick at 28. You're talking about, because I think I talked about this on the show too. Like if you watch them play last year, Hutch kind of lines out like pretty far, which leads me to believe they want him on the single coverage or single blocking.
Hutch?
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
Kenneth Grant is a guy that helps you achieve that.
And
That
DJ
is a
Reader's
mammoth of, yeah, exactly.
DJ Reader's a free agent after this year. Roger Martin is a bust. I know you don't like to say that about third round picks, but
yeah. I mean, I'm down to say they suck and don't work out. I just can't call a third round pick a bust. Is all.
Roger Martin isn't a bust.
No, third round pick.
He hasn't played.
I can't call a third round pick a
three
bust.
snaps.
A bust to me is something that had like shiny trophy value and just fucking lay it down.
I think you can.
Jeff Okuda,
I think you can do it like in respect to where they are.
Yeah, third round pick is.
If you don't play,
third round pick,
then it's a bust. Like you don't expect Broderick Martin to be a superhero, but you expect him to play in games.
Yeah,
you didn't have the expectations of him to play games.
He's played games.
How many? One.
He's probably 6 or 7. Had some injuries too.
That might be a stretch.
Well,
whatever. I just vehemently disagree with that. But no, I don't think they'd trade up to get Will Johnson.
No, he's saying like where would he have to fall for it to be a conversation?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 18.
Mailbag. Have you ever been so okay with not having a first pick?
He's played
a
5
first round
games.
pick in the NBA draft than you currently are.
NBA?
Where would a rookie even fit in on this team? Yeah, I don't want any more 18-year-olds on the Pistons.
No, I think we're ready to forward down the field on that.
I'd rather not have a first round pick for multiple years.
Speaking of the Pistons, run the tape from the fan part of it, Chris, if you can, because I know we don't have no copyrights on that one.
Yeah. Let me get that.
There's just so much here to kind of discuss briefly, obviously, because we gotta get going. But like, I think, and I like Dante DiVincenzo. I did before last night. Pussy.
Nas Reed too.
Nas Reed too. All game, you have Isaiah Stewart bullying you. My favorite part actually was Rudy Gobert trying to break it up. Isaiah fucking pointing at him. And Gobert's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Isaiah's like, I'll fuck you up.
Yeah, Rudy
He's
Gobert.
Like, you will.
Absolutely.
You was right,
And
Charles.
these guys try to act so tough when fucking 19-year-old, 170-pound Ron Holland was there by himself after he swatted your shot out of bounds. Fucking pussies. And then when Stu got involved, you see fucking
everybody back up.
Yeah, everyone's like, hey,
Dante
hey,
DiVincenzo was running from Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah. And then, he pushed him while he was already fucking attention on Nas Reed, and he was on the ground to break it up. He didn't want he could have took a shot if he wanted smoke.
No, he didn't want any smoke. He was just trying to punk a rookie, and Ron showed him he's not going to get punked.
And to the Minnesota Timberwolves fans, fuck the respect.
Fuck the Minnesota
Fuck the respect. I don't respect you enough to have a rivalry there. I don't respect you enough to have a emotional trigger. I don't give a fuck about the Minnesota Timberwolves. You've done nothing in your existence as an NBA franchise. Your best player left you, and then he went and won a championship. That's Kevin Garnett. You have a great piece in Anthony Edwards right now.
He's going to do the same thing. You
History
better
repeats
love Anthony Edwards while you can, Minnesota, because he's leaving.
I mean, what the fuck have you
Maybe
done
to Detroit
to garner a rivalry against the Detroit Pistons in terms
Who
of
said
franchise?
they have a rivalry?
Oh, they're trying to. We own your poverty franchise, bro. You guys haven't been to an NBA Finals.
Yeah,
Have they been to a conference finals last year? First time, right?
Conference finals.
That's it.
We know that Minnesota fans are delusional. They are I've said it before. I'll say it again.
They're
Minnesota is the worst sports city in the world. The world.
Well, in terms of knowledge, I think
in terms of success as sports franchises, Minnesota is the worst sports city in the world.
That is very true.
You have all 4 major sports, and you haven't won a championship in like 40 years. So I don't care about Minnesota or their fans.
Couldn't give less of a fuck.
They're
They're
not
trying
a
to poke
rivalry
and
for us.
prod and start shit, brother. I don't give a fuck about your team. You've never done anything to be relevant enough to give a fuck.
I can't wait for Anthony Edwards to come to Detroit and win a championship.
Ooh,
yes, sir.
But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you tapping in.
No, close out the video. Close out with it then.
For Eazy, for Chris, I am Spencer with the heavyweights. We'll
Did you want to say something before we go?
Well, of course, I'd like to say something, but are we wrapping up?
Too.
All right. Look, I would just say quickly that Isaiah Stewart is not. He's not anything to play with, and I see all of these people saying every other fan base hates Isaiah Stewart, but you know what? You'd love him if he was on your team. Every team needs that, and it's always a thing when Miami is tough. It's heat culture. But when the Pistons are tough, it's dirty, it's illegal. When Boston is tough in the 80s, oh, they're a feisty, strong team. When the bad boys do it, they're bad boys. They're terrible. They're bad for basketball. It's always been a Detroit versus everybody thing, so it always will be a Detroit versus everybody thing, except Minnesota, because we're not worried about that. But let's close out with the video here.
Smooth.
Boy, you not like. Boy, you look, boy.
"35 is out."